Some of the money you hand over on a cruise, you never actually had to pay. It just shows up on your account quietly like it was always the rule, and most people never question it. They figure if it's on the bill, it must be required. Here's the thing after 65. A good number of those charges are optional, adjustable, or refundable, if you know to ask. I'm going to walk you through 7 of them and the exact words to say for each. None of this is about being cheap or stiffing the hardworking crew. It's about not paying for things you never agreed to. And number 7? It's a little charge almost nobody notices, hiding in plain sight, and it can quietly skim 3% off everything you spend. Grab a pen. This one pays for itself in the first 2 minutes. Number 1. The automatic gratuity. You can adjust it. Let's start with the biggest one and the one people argue about most. Every major cruise line adds a daily automatic gratuity to your account, usually $16 to $20 per person per day. For a couple on a week's sailing, that's north of $200. Here's what they don't announce. That charge is a suggested amount, not a mandatory one. You can adjust it at guest services. Now, let me be clear, because this matters. This is not about paying the crew nothing. Those tips are how your steward and your waiter actually get paid, and they earn every cent. This is about your right to control it, to remove it and tip the people who served you in cash instead, or to adjust it if the service genuinely fell short. The magic words at guest services. I'd like to review my gratuities and handle them myself. No speech required, no guilt, just a calm request, and it's done. That's the charge everyone has an opinion about. This one hardly anyone even spots, and it's money the ship already owes you. Number 2. Port fees on a port you never visited. Almost everyone overpays this one, simply because nobody thinks to look for it. Built into your fare are port charges and taxes, the fees each port collects when your ship docks. But ships miss ports all the time. Weather, mechanical delays, rough seas, and when a port gets skipped, the ship never pays that port's fee, which means that money is yours to get back. Many lines refund the port taxes for a missed port, often as an automatic credit to your onboard account. But policies vary. And here's the catch. They don't announce it, and the credit is easy to miss on a busy final bill. So if your cruise skips a stop, do this. Check your onboard statement for the refund, and if it's not there within a day, go to guest services. The magic words. We missed a port. Can you confirm the port taxes were refunded to my account? It might be $20, it might be $80. It's yours either way. So that refund waits until the end of your trip. This next surprise, though, it's set the moment you open your cabin door. Number 3. The minibar you never touched. Walk into your cabin and there's a little fridge, stocked and smiling. On a lot of modern ships, that minibar has sensors, and here's the trap almost nobody warns you about. On some ships, simply moving an item to make room for your own water or your medication registers as a purchase. You get charged for a snack you never ate, just for needing the fridge. You do not have to accept that. On day 1, tell your cabin steward, please empty the minibar completely so I can use the fridge for my own things. They do it all the time. No fuss. Now the fridge is yours, the sensors are irrelevant, and there's no mystery charge on checkout morning. That's a fee you erase before it ever happens. The best kind. Empty fridge, sorted. Now, let's talk about what they'll try to sell you to fill it. Number 4. Bottled water and the convenience drinks. Cruise lines will happily sell you a case of bottled water for the price of a small lunch or slip a water package onto your booking as a convenience. Here's what they don't lead with. The tap water on a cruise ship is filtered, tested, and perfectly safe to drink. The water in your bathroom sink and the water in that expensive bottle come from the very same tanks, so you can decline the water package entirely. Bring a refillable bottle, fill it at the buffet station any time of day, and if you really want bottled, grab a cheap pack in port for pennies on the dollar. The magic words when they offer the package: no thank you, we'll use the tap and the buffet. One sentence and you've just declined a fee dressed up as a favor. Quick breath, we're right at the halfway mark, and honestly, the sneakiest charges are still ahead. So tell me in the comments, Which of these four have you been quietly paying? And where do you land on the auto gratuity? Adjust it or leave it? I read every single one. If this is already saving you money, a quick subscribe means I can keep hunting these down. All right, the back half, starting with a charge that runs up a bill while your phone just sits in your pocket. Number 5, the internet charge you didn't ask for. This one is sneaky because it can bill you without you lifting a finger. The moment a ship leaves port, your phone starts hunting for a signal. And if it latches onto the ship's satellite network, you can rack up cruise roaming charges at eye-watering per-minute rates, all while the phone's in your pocket. And if you did buy a Wi-Fi plan, some lines quietly set it to auto-renew for your next cruise. Here's your two-part defense. The second you board, put your phone in airplane mode. Then turn Wi-Fi back on only if you bought a plan. Airplane mode on, Wi-Fi on. That combination blocks the roaming charge cold. And before you leave, check that any internet package is switched off auto-renew. The magic words at guest services if you see a charge. I never connected to the ship's cellular network. Please review this. Peace of mind without the bill shock at home. Phone handled, wallet safe. But there's a fee that waits for the exact moment you're tired, hungry, and least likely to argue. Number 6, the late-night room service fee. Room service on a cruise feels like a lovely included perk, and during the day on most lines it still is. But here's the fine print. Many lines now add a service charge for room service delivered late at night, often after 11. A few dollars plus an automatic tip on top for the same tray that would have been free at 8 o'clock. You don't have to pay a cent of it. If you know you'll want a snack in the cabin, order it during the included hours and keep it. Fruit, sandwiches, cheese, and crackers keep just fine for a couple of hours. And if a charge appears for a daytime order that should have been free, question it. The magic words. I understood daytime room service was included. Can you check this charge? A little planning, and the late night fee simply never lands. And that leaves my favorite one of all, because it hides inside a single word, and it quietly skims 3% off nearly everything you spend. Number 7, the currency conversion trick. This is the one hiding in plain sight, and it's my favorite to catch because it's so easy to beat. When you settle your onboard account or pay at a shop in a foreign port, the machine will often ask a friendly-sounding question. Would you like to be charged in US dollars? It feels helpful. It is not. Saying yes triggers something called dynamic currency conversion. The ship or the shop does the exchange for you at a marked up rate that can quietly add around 3% to the whole bill. On a big final account, that adds up fast. The fix takes one word. Always choose to be charged in the local currency, the ship's billing currency or the port country's money. Your own bank does the conversion at a far better rate. The magic words, charge it in the local currency, please, not US dollars. Same purchase, better exchange, 3% back in your pocket. Every single time. So there they are. 7 charges that quietly ride along on your bill and the calm words that take each one off. Notice the theme. None of this is about being difficult or shorting the crew. It's about paying for what you chose and nothing you didn't. Ask the question, check the statement, choose the local currency. Small habits that hand you back real money by the end of the week. And if you want to know where your money is genuinely well spent on a cruise, watch the one on the 12 cruise purchases that are actually worth it. It's right here. I'll see you on the next one.